Can you see it? My channel, it says I'm live right now. So I thought before it would make me like have to. Fairly clear. It's still a little bit blurry, but oh, now it's clear. Now it's clear. So let's see if I start clicking through. Oh, no, that's good. It's looking a lot better. Let me powered by Restream. Okay, so yeah, I put all my stuff in there. So let's test out uh, on the OBS. No, I didn't see anything in the chat. It says streaming. It says I have 0 people watching. Let me turn my volume off over here. Okay. So then now, how do I make this full screen again? Oh, yep, I see yours now. I see 1. Now I see 2. Okay, so let's change the title to Live Technical Analysis. Now, what if I just wanted to change the title but leave the description? Do I click update separately? I'm going to stream my second screen so you can see over there. So now I'm on the restream right here. Actually, here's the OBS, so then I just update separately. Oh, I didn't mean to. Oh, I need to go back. How do I go back? Edit destinations? No. The drop down. Let's just exit this. Docs. No. Docs. information. Live technical analysis, January 14th. Update all. So live technical analysis, January 14th, show more. Okay, so now let's go back over to that and go to just the description and say copy, paste, live technical analysis. Update all. So now let's see if that refresh. Live technical analysis, testing the quality of the live stream. Technical analysis. Okay, so alright, well I think that quality is definitely a lot better. That's gonna be watchable. Everything can be read a lot better. The candles can be seen. Let me pull this watch list out a little bit right here. How about this oil setup? About ready to go positive. Already positive. If it takes out these 82s. Appearance text. Let's go to 16. How's the prices? Can you read the prices better now? Even 16, or should I go even more? Let's see what 20 is. 20 might be getting a little bit too much. 20 is good. Okay. And you can see the interval pretty well. What interval am I on? The month. So now you can see it's a day. Well, right here, there's a more button on this. Simple info or settings. status line. We're at the main menu dots up here. Time frame, yep. We're settings. Are you still streaming? No, you're not. I don't see where you see that one at. Status line. So I pull this day interval down. I don't see anything. I see add, I see minute. Okay, settings are open. Yeah, status line. Okay, yep. Title. Yep. Description. Ticker and description. Description. What is it? Just ticker. Silver in a day. Let's do ticker and description. Yeah. Good with that right there. Probably shouldn't be taking the trade right here. And we get filled. This looks gorgeous. No, I'm just trading in simulation right here. Oh, flatten out. Lost $23. Look what I just saved myself out of right there by selling right there. I'm gonna run this stop. Will that work? Will stop me out. It's turning up pretty good though. Yes, sir. One moment, a little bit. You should have dipped into some Atom. Okay. Could have cut some there. Definitely cut a little bit there. That's where we're at. That's where we're at with silver right now. Not a bad little trade that we were in. I think silver's gonna keep going up though. It's kind of curling a little bit. Hold on, I gotta take this call. Alright, I'm back. You still here? So I want you to type in a ticker on the chat, and I want to see it pull up on the chat. Type in a ticker, and then I'm going to run a replay on it from, you can pick the date, so you can put a date on there as well. And then put a date as well. It can be crypto, it can be anything, and I'll run a replay simulation of it. So I can change. SPRB. SPRB. Sprouse Bioscience. 6th of this month. Oh, I can't go into a 15-minute chart. It has to be a day chart. So you have to. So let's run this simulation from the very top. How about that? We'll run this from existence right here. So we'll wait on the day chart. We do not have any moving averages, so we are waiting until we have the information allowed. Let's zoom in. If I went to a 15-minute chart, I'd be able to see stuff, but you know, I can't see this information. Right now, it looks like it has a pretty decent trend line, but we're going to skip through. Extended, so now it looks a little bit bearish. I could look to take a short on this, but I want to see my 50. Okay, so now I have my 50. We're negative, negative. If this gives out this wick bottom right here, because I'm saying to myself there's a trend line right here, this will be a break of a trend line, and this is a bear flag forming right here. So break of the trend line, we're looking to take the trade for a short on this if it gets below this wick. So let's see the next candle. Okay, so we could have got wicked in, fooled in for some right there. I don't have my EMA yet either, but let's try and hit this short, even though I know it's going to go down. And we could get wicked in for some more. You know, it's cheating that I know it's going to go down. But right here, I could have got faked out. I could have put a stop loss to flatten my position if it went over these wicks. So let's act as if we did that. If it breaks out the bottom of this wick, we're going to go short. Okay, now it's building a U shape right here below the trend line I had set. Not a very accurate trend line, but we could look to go short because we tried to go back positive. Now we're back negative, negative. I could add just a small short position right here, and we could up this short position anywhere in the middle of this red candle right here, because that's a red engulfing candle. And now I have my moving average to go off of, so we're below my moving average, setting a close. I can add to this short a little bit if I wanted to. Could add to it, not setting a close above this, so no reason to panic. Okay, now we're starting to turn green. We could flip this position for a long position. Okay, we're going to flatten, set a close above the EMA. So now if we go positive here, we can take a long. Nope, so now I'm really liking the short a little bit. I want to see it give out this bottom before we take the short. Okay, so now we're in the short. The SPRB. I went from the beginning of time. I went from the beginning of time right here. So now we set a close above the EMA. We're going to flatten out of this, taking a small hit, but we can look to go long once this goes positive and positive. We are getting volume increase. And we can hop back in the short if we want to. But let's see it give out this wick price. I think this is going to be the time we actually go short here. Nope, wasn't able to show any conviction here, but if this next candle turns red, we think we want to go short. Nope, we can look to go long right here. Now we're positive, positive. As soon as it takes out day's high, and specifically the top of this wick would have been a good entry long. But let's try and hit the long here for 5 shares. We can dip by, we're still positive, positive. A little bit too much red engulfing, but let's try and add to this position a little bit. Nope, we're going to end up getting stopped out. Setting a close below my moving average right there, we're just going to flatten the position. Now we are negative, we're still positive here, so let's see the next candle. Okay, so red, now we're negative, negative. Let's try and hit the short. Go for 5 shares. Could have faked this out a little bit, but setting a close below this, I like the short right here. And really liking the short. It's really starting to give out this flat bottom breakdown. So let's clear out all the visuals right here. So now you see how this was a flat bottom over here. It's flat bottom tries to hold, flat bottom, now flat bottom breakout or breakdown, whatever you want to call it. Still new to the terminology, but this short looks pretty good right here, and we are going to start getting paid. We could have added to it at the break of this wick to the downside, and we can add to it still right here. So let's add a little bit. Now it's starting to go against us. Could have took some profit, but still setting a close below this, you're okay. Now we're going to flatten out of this position, setting a close above this. Takes another hit, 56 bucks, but let's look to take a long position right here. Not positive yet. A lot of indecision right here. Still not positive. Still not positive. Now I could look to take the short if I wanted to. If this goes back negative and we cross over this EMA, we could go short. Not yet. And boom, we can go short on this candle. This is a nice red engulfing candle. We went back negative and negative. We're a little bit late to the party, but let's see if we can actually give out this bottom finally. Let's add to that short. Here's your shorters. As the price pulls back into this red candle, you got people jumping short on this candle. So we're going to add to this position, and boom, we are going to get paid a little bit. Let's take a little bit of profit this time. Okay, so we took some profit. We can add to this short with the 2 shares that we just bought and give it a chance. And we're flattened out, setting a close through this, take out of this high wick candle. So took yet another loss. Let's try and hit the long right here. We're going to go positive. As soon as we go positive right here, we can take the long. So pull back into the middle of this candle. Let's try the long here. Let's go for 5 shares. Still some wick buyers. We could have, it gaps up, doesn't fill the gap. Could have bought in the middle of this wick right here. So let's add to this just a little bit. And boom, let's take a little bit of profit right there and let's let this ride. Huge red candle. Do I want to hold it? Thank God it took some profits right here. Anything below the CMA and we're out of this for sure. But big red selling right there. If I wanted to buy back in, I could. We are positive. But this is a full red engulfing candle because it takes out the entire green body of the candle. So we don't want to add on that. And boom, we're flattened out, setting a close below the EMA. We went negative, negative. We can add to the short right here, but let's see it open below this EMA. And let's see it give out this low price before we go short. And boom, we can take the short right here. Let's go 10. And we can add to this because it's trying to break down below this price right here. Full red engulfing, increasing red volume right here. Let's add to the short a little bit. And we could have added it in the middle of this wick right here. You have your wick buyers right there trying to buy it or trying to short it. And let's actually add to the short this time. And we're going to start getting paid, it looks like. A lot of profit taking right there, starting to curl up, green volume. Let's take a little bit of profit there. And we are going to start getting paid. Not quite yet. I'm not sure if I'll do it with Twitch or not. But just so YouTube. We're going to flatten the position, setting a close above the CMA. Let's think to take a long right here. We could hop back in the short if we wanted to. If it gives out this wick price we can take short. And setting a close below this, if we wanted to hit this short, we could, but let's see the next candle. A lot of indecision right there. Let's let it give up day's low and hit the short. Increasing green volume, this looks pretty good to take a long. If it can take out this high price from over here, let's go right there. Then we can go long. So I don't like that red selling volume right there. We're still negative right here. Let's give it one more candle. Still negative. Still negative. Okay, green volume. Now, if it takes out this wick price right here, we're going to hop into this one. Still negative. Now, it's starting to give up this low over here. We did cross back over negative right here. If it opens below this EMA, we're going to hop into this short. Opens below the EMA, setting a close on the EMA. Any gap down, we can add to this. We can start this short. Gaps up, you could have got faked out. Realistically, the short, as soon as it breaks this wick right here, it's going to go short. Boom. So now we're really testing that wick, building this upside down U right there. If it gives out this price, this short is going to hit big. So let's add to the short. Alright, we can add more to this short. Whew, man, it really would be testing your short right there. Would really be testing. When this is full green engulfing, it'd be hard not to flatten this position. But now with it setting a close right here, I actually still like the short. Increasing green volume, man. The shorts really had to hold tight on this one. And we're out. Gaps up over top of this. Take a small hit on this, but let's look for opportunity to potentially take a long here as soon as this goes positive. Alright, still a lot of indecision, and it's trying to come down to this gap fill. Bent fishing rod, here's your rod, it's pulling it down, trying to come down to this gap fill. So let's let it fill this gap and then see what happens. Okay, so we filled that gap, no buyers at all, gave out the low price. Let's hop into the short right here and see if we can get some continuation to the downside. And boom. Here's where the short finally hits right there. We could take profit, but way in the negative, way in the negative. Let's wait for a cross. Setting close above there, but I don't think this has the steam. This is going to start bending over. And here we're going to start bending over. Let's add to the short. And boom. Same thing, could have added to the short again right there. Next leg down, let's take a little bit of profit right there. And boom, let's take a little bit more profit right there. The crossover back of this EMA, we got a great entry on this. Let's give it a little bit more time. Let's take a little bit of profit right there. How much of this position do I have left still? I still have 9 left on this short. Let's take a little bit of profit right there. I wanted to take profit right there. Let's take a little bit 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 right there. How many do I have left in this position? We got 3 shares left. We're holding these last 3 for the cross back positive. Oh man, look at this. Just gonna keep paying us. Let's take one right there, because I mean, that's just great profits right there. And now we're looking for the opportunity to go long, and right here is where you would realistically want to set a stop. It's curling over. You're still positive, respecting this low. As soon as it gives that over, you'd want to flatten that position. Now, we are flattened out of the position. Now, we are positive, but this is a gnarly gap up, not a clean chart whatsoever. If we wanted to buy like the middle of this, like as this comes over here to this bottom, we could force ourselves into this position. Let's see a candle. Okay, so now we have a choice. We're positive. We're getting a better price right here. Let's see if we can add a few shares right here for a long. We did go negative, but I think that there should be good strength right here, and I think that can hold up. Decreasing volume right here. Let's see some green volume pick up. Okay, so now we are back positive. Let's add to this position a little bit. Could take profits if we wanted to. Could add to the position just a little bit more. Let's go to 12. Could have took some profits right there, but if it can break over top of this high, it has a chance. So now we have just a wedge pattern right here. Realistically, stop some shares below this trend line right here. And you could have got stopped out of some shares right there. So let's say we sold a couple shares, stopped out of a fourth of the position. We had 12 shares, we cut 25%. Now, we could cut a little bit more of this position if we felt like this was going against the trend line. We're not on this trend line anymore. Let's stop some shares right below this wick. And we get stopped out of some shares right below that wick. And we are setting a close right at that EMA, but we are still positive and positive. Let's see a candle. Okay, holding strong above the EMA, we're still positive. We could add to the position if we felt good about this candle. Let's take this trend line off. Let's take this off. We know this is the breakout price. Let's see another candle. Holding above the EMA. If it can get, let's clear these drawings. If it can get back above like the top of this red candle, we could go long. Same story, but you'd want to have a stop loss in right here, because if it gives up that wick, it's going to go test this low. If it gives up this low, it's going to fill this gap. So now it's really starting to curl up. We can mark it into a few shares right here. And setting a close below that, about to go negative. Red engulfing, we can give it the open price, but we're about to get out of this position. Yeah, we're out of this position, flattened out. We could jump into a short right here. Once it gives out this low price, you could expect to flush down. We are negative below the EMA. So let's try and hit a short again. The short worked for us before. In the money, and getting paid a little bit, but getting closer to this gap fill. So I do want to respect. I can't really see it with the buy in there. Let's mark that gap so we can see it. So getting closer to that gap, I'd expect buyers. So now let's take another piece off of that short. Now this gap does get wicked, so let's take a piece off and see how it acts right here. Wicks down, still holding this price right here, but if it gives up that price, we can load back up on the short. And we can start adding to this short again if we want to. Let's try 6. Oh, that was probably a bad add right there. That wick right there, starting to curl up. We can add to this short, maybe just a little bit still. Let's try it. And realistic stop above this wick right here. We do not want it to get above that price. So right there. And it gaps up right to it. Could have got faked out, but now that I can see this information, I still think that the short looks good. And we can add to this short position if we think it's going to give out this low price. We're looking for a gnarly leg down. Whew, this is always it just looks like it's not going to hold. It looks like the shorts are going to win. Yep, the shorts starting to turn. Let's add to the short just a little bit. Yes, sir. Would have been a decent profit right there. Let's keep going. Let's wait for a cross. So now we're getting ready to cross right here. Not ready, but let's take a piece off, take some profits. Could have waited just a little bit more. Okay, now I got even 10 shares. This looks like it's good for continuation down. Okay, now we're just barcoding sideways, about to go negative, and it's holding this support decently. Let's get one more candle. Okay, increased selling still, but let's give it another candle. It's hovering above this EMA a little bit too long. Let's take a little piece off of that, lock some profits in. And now it's just flatten this, because realistically a stop loss above this wick would have been pretty close to that price. Let's clear this chart. Now let's look to take a long position when this goes positive. Okay, now I like the way this is looking a lot better, because you're trying to push over top of that wick in a short little double bottom right there. You have this trend line built. And we're about to go positive. If it can take out this wick price right here, you know, we could be thinking retracement back into some of these, you know, bare minimum, maybe this high right here. So not a bad little trade right there, but maybe even this previous low is a potential move for this. So let's see another candle. Okay, nice green candle right at the day's high. Good strength right there. What's our volume looking like? Not the greatest increase of volume, and you're right at the previous high. Let's buy the consolidation of like the top of this wick right there. So I'm looking for a wick down to the top of this wick and get an entry into this. Okay, so we are there. We do get a small position added to this. We're still negative. Might be a little bit early, but if we take out the top of this wick, we can load this position up a little bit more. Okay, so below my trend line, we never went positive. We only have a small position right now. But now that I'm looking at this trend line, this looks a little bit better of a trend line. So let's give it another candle. Okay, showing green. Now if this can start building a nice U shape right here, we can look to take a long position. Alright, break of that trend line truly. We're negative, above the EMA, but let's just flatten this position. Wait for a better read on it. Take a little bit of a hit. And that's why. Now if it would have gave up that price, we could have potentially went short. This would have been your flat bottom, your breakdown price right here. You'd look for a nice red candle right through that. But starting to curl back up. Now instead of having this trend line here, you could be calling this a confirmed higher low. But it also could be from here to here, and we're setting a close right below the trend line. But let's just mark the two bottoms and see how it goes. Okay, so now we're getting ready to go positive. Let's see another candle. If this can start turning green then and get positive, then we're interested in taking the long position. So still negative. If it starts curling up a little bit, you do have a downtrend that you're going to have to fight through. So realistically, let's see this wedge pattern play out. And boom, as soon as you take out the tops of these wicks, I mean, that's a golden entry right now. So I'm buying a little bit high. But let's start this position. Any pullbacks to the top of that wick right here, exactly where this red line's at, we're buying it. Okay, so wick's down, but still set to close above that downtrend that we have set. I think that this is good to add to the position. We're positive. Let's add to the position 10 shares. We like the position. We think that this is good support down here. Let's give it a chance. We are negative. If we wanted to cut the position a little bit, we could, but this is not any relevance at all. This is more than likely potentially just a sideways channel right there. So let's let's give the EMA the respect that it needs right there. Let's just flatten this position. Realistically, probably would have got scared with this. Let's wait for it to turn back positive and build this U shape, and maybe we can take a trade later. And we could have just stayed with the short. This is what I was talking about earlier over here. This is kind of just channeling. Here was your flat bottom breakout. I could have went short. Well, now I missed it. Let's wait for an opportunity to go long. And look at that. The short would have paid out fantastic, but this is why you cut that position on that when you get worried about it. I saved myself, 40% right there. We can look at the percent if you guys want. Yeah, I was pretty close, 36%. So now we're just waiting for an opportunity to go long on this. Okay, getting closer. We're still negative, just barely going positive right there. We get the gap up. It tries to fill the gap. We're still negative, negative. Let's wait another candle. Okay, so now we're getting closer to that positive. If this takes out this high price right here, let's clear out the drawing. Oh, dude, I'm still in for 10 shares. I thought I hit flatten. Oh, that's interesting. Well, now we are positive, so let's use that 10 as if we just bought it. We're only 390 out of the money. Let's add to it, actually. I like the buy right there. Now it's really starting. Here's your buying opportunity on this green candle if you wanted to. As soon as it takes out this high price right here, doesn't look terrible. And looks like it's going to go against us. As soon as it gives up that EMA, probably not going to work out for us. Starting to curl up, giving it a chance. The EMA holds. Let's see if this can turn positive here. And let's flatten that out. As soon as it gives up that wick bottom right there, this just doesn't look good. We can buy it later. Okay, as soon as this goes positive, realistically when it takes out yesterday's high and this wick right here, we can take the trade. And boom, we're triggered in. Nice U shape. Let's add some size here. So 20 shares right now. If it gives out this high price or breaks over top of this, we can add more. Okay, so very close to it. Positive, positive, good strength right there. I can't see the not increasing volume like you'd want to see. So realistically, you'd want to buy the pullback into here, which is the previous high candle. Okay, you have a choice. It gaps down pretty much where you wanted to buy it. So I don't know if there's weakness in the market, but this is still about halfway through this candle. If this can turn green at all, we can buy the middle of the green candle. So it gaps up. Here's your gap fill buyers. Right here. Gaps up, comes right down to the gap. People are saying, hey, we're positive, positive right here. I can buy that gap. So let's add to the position. Let's go 40 shares. Double top in effect potentially, but it hasn't given up the low from where we filled this gap. Could start rolling over on us. Okay, now it's starting to turn green. If it can take out these highs right here, if I clear out the chart, does have an uptrend that it could be getting ready to go for. If it takes out these highs, you're going to get paid. It tries to. I said you're going to get paid. But this looks pretty good if it can turn green on the next day. Okay, so it's still a green candle. We can buy a little bit on that. And now we're getting really good strength. Any types of pullbacks to the previous high right here, we can probably buy. And it gaps up right to where we want to buy. Full green engulfing. Let's just buy the top of this. It looks pretty good. Here's your more opportunity to up your position if you want to. More opportunity to up the position if you want to. And boom. Just like that, guys, we built out a position, all these different buys over here, stayed true to the chart, and now we're looking very good for continuation. You could buy this. This is where your late buyers would have your opportunity to buy. And boom, just like that. Now, I don't really like this wick top, so let's just cut the position a little bit, just 4 of it. Now it's really doing it. So let's cut a little bit more, 5 shares. And it looks like it's going to give up this EMA. Let's just cut a little bit more of it and profit right there. Now we got 50. Let's wait for the cross. Not looking very good whatsoever. We could look to hit the short. Okay, now we're looking okay. So clearly in the positive. Clearly in the positive. I think this looks good for continuation. Double top is in right there. So this is already starting to show potentially something like that, but potentially a wedge pattern building right here. Could cut a little bit right there. Right through it. So now it's looking pretty good. Same thing. Now it could be a potential head and shoulders. Come back down to here, pop back up to here, and then give up. About to go negative, negative. Big gap down right there. Let's take some of those profits. Now we are negative. Let's just flatten the position. Now we could go short, but we do gap down. You see how we gap down right here? Didn't have the strength to come back up to here, so we can buy a little bit our short a little bit before that candle and at the gap. Okay, so now we're filled in on the short. Let's see if we can hit on the short. And boom, already working in the money for us. Just a simple 10 shares. That's $20. We're already $1 in the money. And getting paid more. Let's take a piece off right there. And getting paid more. Take a piece off right there. And getting paid more. Let's take a piece off right there. Okay, now we're setting a close. It's trying to go up here. Now we are in, at least not under this line. We could take a little piece off right there. Now we're holding 2 for the cross. Might have weak-handed a little bit right there, but the shorts have made out every single time on this. I've been trying to go long on this, just hasn't worked out for us. The shorts have worked every time we've taken it. Maybe it's time for the longs are due. The long is due. But we are still sitting in this short. Let's stay true to it until we go positive. Now we're getting ready to go positive right here. Let's just take our profits on this. If it does want to come flirt down here with this price again, you know, that would be your flat bottom breakdown for another short. But this looks like it's going to be a long very soon. And I could have stayed true to it. Looks like it's going to give out that low price. Ooh, it holds this price very well though. Okay, we are officially positive and positive. Let's just start our position, just a simple 10 shares. That's $10 position. Flirting to go higher, we're positive, positive. Let's up the position some more. Okay, now I like the way that this is looking. If it can take out this price right here, you know, it might have a little bit of a pullback into this green candle, but it looks pretty good. Let's build some size on this position. Go 50 shares, $50. And we're in the money. We could add to it if we wanted to add 5. And boom, look at that. Big gap up right there. Let's take some profits off the tables. 15 shares. And that's where we're at right now. So we're holding the piece of this position. Not terrible profits. I wasn't taking much size for any of the positions, and we came out profitable trying to go long and short, and 86% success rate. You still there, Hal? Not bad though, not bad. A little bit shaky there a couple times. But we are definitely still holding a piece of this position for a potential breakout of this high price right there. What did this company even do? It's a bioscience company. You know, it is actually putting wicks into the bottom half. Or the top of this right here. So it could hold. Says we got 2 people watching. But, yep. Just following the simple rules right there. Positive, positive. And you can take the trade. If you want to. Don't care what it is. They're an unprofitable company. Held that flat bottom for a long time. Realistically, I see it coming back down to here eventually, though. But we'll see. Alright, and now that I know that the stream is working everything's working good, I will do some analysis probably the night before the market opens and in the morning on Monday. So I will see you guys